What's up, everyone? It's Myra here. How are you doing, my amazing Limitless sisters? Welcome to the Sisterhood of Limitless Women's Group. I am so glad that you are here. It is Thursday, and we usually have Thursday Night Live with Myra, but I totally forgot that I have a workshop to go through, and it's from 1:30 till 8:30 tonight, so I won't be able to come on live. Totally forgot about it, but I have to go to this workshop. So I wanted to create this video in place of me going live. And it's just, we're going to be talking about self-love. We've been talking about it all week. You guys have really been participating and showing up for some of my posts, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful when you participate and you let me know that things resonate with you, things mean something to you, because I want to continue to pour into your life and help you live better, do better, and be better. I want to inspire, motivate, and encourage you to live your best life. I want to encourage you to move closer to your purpose, to reconnect with your purpose, to figure out what your purpose is. That's why I'm here. So I wanted to share a few things with you and leave you with a reading I found that it's so good, y'all. It is so good, and I hope that it connects with you. I hope that it resonates with you. I hope that you hold on to it and that it makes you feel better about going on a journey to love yourselves, because it's so important that we love ourselves. It's hard to love other people when you don't love yourself. And so I wanted to share a few things with you today that I found that I thought were amazing. And I hope, I hope that it stays with you and that it ministers to you in some way. Okay. So the first thing I found was is how to love yourself more. The first thing is to stop taking things too seriously. Relax, have fun, have a good attitude. Um, you don't have to be serious all the time. It's okay to have fun. Secondly, find a self-love role model. If you don't know how to love yourself, and maybe you've never witnessed it, maybe you didn't grow up with it in your home, maybe you never saw women in your life loving themselves, maybe you grew up in an abusive household where all you saw was women being abused, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally. You never had that example, but you know someone or you've seen someone who really appears to have it all together and they love themselves. Make them your role model. Ask them how they do it. There's nothing wrong with that. Ask them how they do it. Ask me how I got to this point where I love myself. I would love for you to do that. I would love for us to talk about it, because that's why I'm here, to help you. But, if there's someone that you've known and you know that they really love themselves, ask them. They'll be glad to tell you. They'll be glad to help you. Don't be afraid to ask and have a role model. Celebrate the small things in your life. Celebrate the small victories in your life. No matter how small it is. If you decided that you were going to start walking because you want to feel better, you want to look better, and you walked a half a mile, let's celebrate that half a mile. You don't have to wait to celebrate the marathon. Celebrate the mile. Celebrate the first steps. Celebrate you making the decision to take the walk and then actually taking it. All right? Don't worry about the marathon. That'll come. Celebrate the mile. Don't wait to celebrate the marathon. Celebrate the mile. Cut out the negative self-talk. Stop beating yourself up. Stop calling yourself stupid. Stop calling yourself fat. Stop calling yourself old. Stop calling yourself skinny. Stop calling yourself poor. Stop saying I can't afford it. Stop saying I can't do it. Stop. Stop the negative self-talk and instead say, I am beautifully and wonderfully made. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I can do anything I put my mind to, with the right encouragement and motivation. I can lose this weight. I can gain this weight. I can let my hair grow out. I can cut my hair off and I'm still beautiful. Stop with the negative self-talk. Flip it and make it positive. Acknowledge your own feelings. Stop suppressing your feelings. Stop trying to cover them up to make someone else happy or comfortable. Own your feelings. It's okay. I've been dealing with a lot of anger, and and I decided to be angry, to give myself permission to be angry. Not to stay there, but to feel it. Allow yourself to feel what you need to feel. Acknowledge your emotions because they're real and you don't have to keep suppressing them. Okay? And lastly, but most importantly, Lord have mercy, cut off toxic people. Get them out of your life, even if it's family. I know that's a hard one. That's a tough pill. But sometimes you have to do the hard thing. And a lot of times it starts with family. Get rid of them. Just because they're blood, it does not mean that you have to be involved in their life or allow them to be involved in your life. You don't need that. You deserve more than that. That's part of loving yourself, you know? So, we got stop taking things too seriously, find a self-love role model, celebrate the small things, cut out the negative self-talk, acknowledge your feelings, and cut out toxic people, right? I share all of that and I make it seem so easy, and I know it's not. I know that it's a process, and you're gonna have to take steps, small steps to get there, and you will, because you want to, because you deserve it. You deserve to love yourself, because if you don't love you, who will? You teach others how to love you by the way you love yourself, by the way you honor and respect yourself. You teach other people how to treat you. You just do. If you don't love yourself, it's going to be very difficult for someone else to love you. Whether it's your family or friends or a relationship, if you're looking for a relationship and you don't love yourself, people are going to see that. And that's not attractive, except for to maybe a predator, maybe someone that wants to hurt you in some way, maybe someone that's abusive, and that's not what you want to attract. You don't want to deal with that, so you have to learn to love yourself. I also found this that I wanted to share with you all. It says self-love. You have to choose yourself even when others refuse to. Self-love is choosing yourself, and choosing yourself is self-care. You're entertaining the wrong things with the wrong people because you're struggling with loving yourself. It's okay to take a break, a moment for yourself. It's okay to be selfish if it means rediscovering your own power and happiness. And this is a quote by R.H. Sin, S-I-N. Every part of this is true. You have to make a choice to love yourself. You may not have been taught, you may not have witnessed it, but you can still choose to love you. No matter what happens, choose to love yourself. It's okay to take a break, take a moment for yourself. You don't have to keep pouring and pouring and pouring and giving and giving and giving love. You can receive it for yourself. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So in that, you rediscover your own power and your own happiness. When I went through my divorce, I decided to get a divorce because I wanted my daughter to see me, love me, and put myself first and put my happiness first. I wanted my son to see a woman who loves herself, enough to walk away from a bad relationship that was unhealthy, that was toxic, that was unfulfilling. Because he needs to know how to treat women, and my daughter needed to know how to be treated and to know the value of herself. And I wanted my son to value women. Loving myself, loving yourself teaches other people how to value you. And that they can't just come to you half-hearted, with no mess, no nonsense, because you're not going to tolerate it. Loving yourself teaches other people how to love you. And finally, I want to end with this quote. And then I have some homework for y'all. Okay. This quote is called Deep Wounds, or from the book Deep Wounds. And now it's time to put yourself first. Let go of all of the bad times. Switch off the negativity. Focus on your goals. Reach for the moon. Do whatever pleases you. You are the master of your own destiny. It's time to put yourself first. It doesn't mean you're arrogant. It doesn't mean you're conceited. It doesn't mean you're selfish. You're practicing self-care. Loving yourself is practicing self-care. Okay? So, with that being said, your homework. I'm giving you homework. Your homework for the rest of this week is to find different ways to love yourself. If you have not been loving yourself, I want you to find different ways. You go on the internet, use some of the stuff that I've been teaching you this week, whatever. Find a way to love yourself. At least 3 different ways to love yourself. Practice it, and then I want you to journal about it. I want you to write it down. I want you to write down your feelings before you did this activity, and then what happened during it and how you feel afterwards. How do you feel about yourself? And keep it in a journal, because I want you to see it. I want you to be able to go back to it and see how you felt, just in case you kind of slip back into not really loving yourself, okay? That is your homework. I expect you to do it, okay? And this is on the honor system, so that's between you and you, okay? But make sure you do your homework. This is Myra. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for your time. Once again, I apologize for this not being live, but I have to be at a workshop in about 10 minutes. And so, but I didn't want to be absent tonight. I wanted to be present. I wanted to leave you with something. So, this week's theme is self-love. I want you to practice self-love for the rest of this week, okay? Because next week we'll be doing something different, and, but I want you to practice it. Be intentional about loving yourself this week. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here. I never take you for granted. Hope you have a beautiful, beautiful evening and a beautiful weekend. Peace out, everybody.